I'd like to welcome Clay Nielsen
Nielsen.
to AM Connections with Penny Armini. I'm so excited to have Clay on because there are a lot of really good things going on in Conneaut. And one of the really good things that I'm so excited about is Clay and his wife purchased a church on Buffalo Street, right behind the fire hall.
Yes, yeah, the former Free Methodist Church.
Yep, the former Free Methodist Church. And they have miraculously, with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, turned it into a theater.
Yes.
Right. And it's so exciting that we have this opportunity, and you're located right in downtown. And so let's talk a little bit about the theater, what made you want to do it. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay, well, from the beginning, my wife and I met doing theater, so it's something that's always been in our relationship. But we've been just looking for old churches to turn into theaters because we kind of love the ambiance of the church. And we saw the one over at on Buffalo Street, 236 Buffalo Street's the address. And it just really appealed to us the first time we saw it. We walked into it and it already looked like a theater.
Yeah.
Even though it had been abandoned for 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the bones of the structure were very good, and so it just really captured our hearts and became a big project.
Yes, it's amazing what they've done. It's a work in progress.
Yes.
It certainly has, more to go, but so much has been accomplished.
Yes, many, many more hours of construction to go.
But really, I was so impressed when I went in, and I know we've been running a little segment where Bob Lebzelter went around, and you did get to see the inside of the church. But when you walk in, it is very impressive. You walk up the stairs, and the stage is there, and it just the acoustics are wonderful.
Right, it's surrounded by all the beautiful stained glass windows all the way around and in the ceiling. So it's really a nice place to just go and sit and look around. I mean, I do that a lot. I just sit and
think, oh my God, what did I get myself into?
I like challenges. This was a big one, though.
Yeah, but really, in walking around, you could tell that the bones and the structure of this building are very good.
Right, yeah, everything, I mean, there's no cracks in anything.
No,
it's very solid.
It's amazing.
It was just a matter of bringing it into the 21st century.
Yeah.
So all of the things that we're putting in are going to be state-of-the-art as far as theater goes.
Yeah.
All computerized, all digital. We'll be able to run everything actually from an iPad sitting in the audience. Be able to run all the lights and all the sound, everything from an iPad sitting in the audience.
This is why I'm so excited. This is really bringing technology to the theater.
Right,
I mean, this is really something that no one else can do.
Right.
So the effects and everything that can happen, you don't even know what the possibilities are yet.
Right, yeah, and the show we're doing now is going to kind of be a tech light show because we're working our way into using the equipment that we're putting in.
Right.
But still, we were writing cues, which are light changes for the show yesterday. And there's 65 cues for this show. There's 65 light changes, and some of the other shows we've done, there have been maybe 3 or 4 cues for the entire show. And there's 65 for this one, and it's relatively easy to do with the equipment that we have. So we're excited to see what we can do when we really explore its possibilities.
Excited. So that brings us to this weekend. And the opening play, and this you will remember this forever because it's your opening weekend.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little, the title, tell us a little bit about, and it's a good weekend to do this because it actually centers back into the 40s.
Right.
So I'm going to let you talk about it. I'm not going to.
Well, the play that we're doing is called Who's on First, but it's not the one that everyone thinks about. Right.
Okay.
It involves a dinner party that just goes horribly awry. A husband arrives at this dinner party that's thrown by a friend of theirs, and he thinks his wife is having an affair. He thinks she's having an affair with a magician. So the wife shows up, and it turns out she has been meeting with a magician, but she's been meeting with the magician to learn magic so she can be of more interest to her husband. And so the magician eventually shows up, the husband pulls out a gun, and everybody gets killed. So that's kind of the opening scene, but they have a magic lamp there. And as somebody's dying, they say, boy, I wish we could have lived this differently. And so they live it differently. They live the same scene over and over in progressively crazier and crazier ways until they finally figure out what's going on with the scene.
At the end.
Yeah. There's just 4 people in the show. We have there's two extra people too who are people that we added onto the script because they were just so good in auditions.
Yeah.
So we added a couple parts in that are not in the original script, but it's a very, very funny show.
Oh, very good. And that opens Friday night.
Yes.
At 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
At 8
tickets
p.m.
Tickets are $8 for adults, $5.50 for seniors and students. So we wanted to make everything as affordable as possible to get as many people in the seats as possible.
Okay, and give us the dates of the play.
Okay, it's the 22nd through the 24th, which is this weekend, Friday through Sunday, and then it's next Friday and Saturday, which is the 29th and 30th.
Okay, so Sunday night is also evening, so they're all evening performances.
They're all evening performances.
Okay, all evening performances, and it is street parking when you get there. I know there's some lots here and there in the evening.
So around behind like the key bank and things like that.
Right, that you'll be able to use. But it brings you into the beautiful downtown area of Pontiac, Ohio.
Yes.
And when people say there's nothing to do, there's nothing like live theater. You can go see movie after movie after movie, but when you are sitting there and there are actors and actresses in front of you acting, it really is a unique experience.
Right. And the people in it are all local. They're all mostly Ashtabula. We have a girl from Conneaut who's in it, Miranda Legend, who's very good. She was awesome in auditions, but she just wasn't quite the right age for one of the main parts, so we actually wrote a part to add her into that.
Add her in.
And she's a significant part of the show now, which is nice.
Very good, very good. Well, the reason I had Clay on is it also is at the Conneaut Arts Center. We're going to partner with you.
Yes.
And I'm just so excited about it because if you've come down to the Conneaut Arts Center, you know our stage in our area is just so limited in what we can do. And, you know, people sit there and say, oh, I wish we could do this or I wish we could do that. And we can't. We have that limitation of that building and that room and that stage. And there's things that we can't do. By partnering with Clay, we are able now to do some other things.
Right. Well, I've got so many things going on there that there's such demand for space. It's just so it's so crazy. Yeah. Oh, it is exciting.
It is exciting, and I know that our fall play. I know Tom's come in to see you, and we're going to be doing Odd Couple, the female version.
Yes.
And that will be at Arlene's Broadway on Buffalo Street.
Yes, it will. I actually got co-opted to being in.
I know you did. I'm excited. I heard that yesterday. I said, and by the way,
I would be there anyway. So might as well.
Yeah, and so we are excited to have this partnership and to be able to do things both ways. I mean, it really now allows us at the Art Center to do two things at once. We never can do two things at once.
Absolutely.
If we're working on a play, I'm canceling exercise classes or I'm canceling dance classes or, you know, I can't do this rental or that. I mean, it really limits what we can do. Now this opens up and allows us to pull on our big girl pants and do two things at once.
And there's so much space at the theater that we can have a show on stage and be rehearsing one or two more shows elsewhere in the theater. I mean, it's a huge building. Yeah,
it is. And I'm going to bring Tessa with me when I come, and because we've been already talking, because she has been in the door, I think. But just talking about the possibilities that will allow our dance program also to utilize the area there. So we're just really excited about this, and I want everyone to come out and enjoy the play. You have 2 weekends. If you're so busy this weekend with D-Day, that's okay. You have the following weekend to come in. All the performances are at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
And you're located at
236 Buffalo Street.
36, right behind
behind the fire station.
Yeah, Fruin Jackson Florist is right across the street. How convenient for flowers.
I know, really.
You know, I just walk across the street, buy
There's no excuse not to have flowers for every performance,
I know, see? You don't even have to have delivery.
Right.
But it's located in a wonderful location uptown, and the tickets are $8 for adults.
Yes.
And
$5.50 for seniors and students.
Okay, $5.50 for seniors and students. So there's no excuse not to come. You can eat uptown. You can go to Rainbow. You can go to Sub Shop. You can go to McDonald's. If you could go to McDonald's for dinner and walk to the theater, you can't get a better evening than that. No. So we're just excited about it, Clay, and I'm going to have you on every time something good is going on.
That would be great.
All right.
I'm happy to come back and do it.
And please, if you're taking a walk uptown, Clay would love to have you just stop, peek your head in, say hi.
Anytime the door is open, we're there working. So.
Yep, he lives there, sleeps at home, maybe
not this week very much.
But it's very nice because I know that you're working on the basement, and the basement will allow you to do so many things.
Right, yeah, we actually hosted a
down
wedding
there.
reception there last weekend.
Did you really?
Yes, yes.
Already?
Yeah,
Very good.
our people who were renting the house next door had their reception
Right there. Very good.
Yeah, we had, that was the first big event at the theater, and we probably had close to 100 people there.
Very good.
And we had a madrigal choir that came in, and they did some numbers up on the stage, which was just phenomenal to listen to.
Yeah.
It was
great. Well, this is exciting. So remember, who's on first?
Who's on first?
Who's on
yes,
first?
by Jack Sharkey.
All right. It opens up Friday night, this Friday night, and it runs Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday at 8 p.m. And if you can't make this weekend, you can come the following weekend on Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m. Who's on first? Arlene's Broadway on Buffalo Street. Make it a regular. Watch for what's going on there, and let's get everything going wonderful. So thank you, Clay, so much.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Really appreciate it.